The King of Fighters franchise is an arcade fighting game series developed by the company SNK. It's been around for almost as long as other stalwart arcade games, such as Mortal Kombat and Tekken, which debuted in 1994. The game's story focuses on the title fighting tournament, in which fighters from other SNK games, such as Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, and Samurai Shodown, participate alongside the original characters created for the main arcs of the story. There have been multiple manga adaptations, a manhwa adaptation, 2 different anime runs, and an ill-conceived Hollywood movie based on the series. Today we are looking at the 10 most powerful and the strongest characters of the franchise. But before we go any further, I'd like to ask everyone watching to like, share, and comment on the video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to always get the latest marvelous videos. With that said, let's get started. Orochi. Our first entry is a god, literally. Orochi is a deity that exists to protect Gaia, which is the earth. It is a pure force of nature that seeks to destroy humanity in a seemingly necessary bid to restore a natural balance of things, having grown weary of humanity's selfish and destructive choices. Orochi transcends the living plane, meaning it cannot be killed, only trapped and made to sleep for eons when it is then awakened at various points throughout the series. While seemingly a villain, the deity is not your run-of-the-mill megalomaniac. Rather, it displays the demeanor of a timeless being, knowing the inevitability of the fall of human civilization, almost like a cat watching a drowning prey from afar. In the legends, Orochi and its followers, Hakeshu, attempted to destroy humanity but were defeated by 3 Japanese clans, the Kusanagi, Yata, and Yagami, and they were imprisoned until the events of the first King of Fighters game. The deity was also the final boss in the King of Fighters 97 game, which was its first and only appearance as a playable character. Orochi is shown as genderless, being shown in the legends as an 8-headed snake and anthropomorphized as a female that was defeated by the heads of the 3 clans. Interestingly, in King of Fighters 97, the deity takes the form of its host, Chris, and is playable as a male character. Orochi is the strongest character in the game. However, due to a botched resurrection, its powers are limited in the vessel that is Chris, which allows it to be defeated by the protagonists. The deity has a whole host of powers ranging from telepathy, telekinesis, possession, regeneration, energy manipulation, incarnation, and power bestowal. Rugal Bernstein. Coming in at number 2 is the proper big bad of the first game of the series. Rugal Bernstein was first introduced as the final boss battle in King of Fighters 94. Unlike Orochi, Rugal is just pure evil and has no noble goals for his actions. Bernstein is a notorious crime boss who enjoys turning fighters into trophies and killing for fun. He has a cruel and sadistic sense of humor and believes that his strength makes him a kind of human god. Rugal is often considered by players as one of the hardest bosses to defeat in the franchise, partially owing to some of his unavoidable attacks and ability to mimic others' attacks. In the first game of the series, Rugal holds Saishu, the father of the primary protagonist, Kyo Kusanagi, captive and challenges Kyo and his friends to a fight. Upon his defeat, he blows up the base and is presumed dead until the next year's edition of King of Fighters, where he shows up with a brainwashed Saishu and instructs him to fight his son. Upon breaking Saishu free of Rugal's mind control, Kyo and his friends fight an Omega Rugal, who has been imbued with Oroshi's powers, and defeat him. His powers include energy manipulation and reading others' moves. Goenitz. Coming in at number 3 is the head honcho of the Hakeshu clan, which consisted of the 8 strongest followers of Orochi. Goenitz is the main antagonist of King of Fighters 96. He's introduced as a stranger who challenges Kyo Kusanagi and defeats him so badly that Kyo ends up in the hospital without even laying a punch on Goenitz. He shows up again at the end of the game as the final boss battle and is revealed to have killed Chizuru Yata's twin sister previously. Goenitz sees the 3 protagonists, Kyo, Chizuru, and Iori, as threats to the return of Orochi and attempts to kill all 3 of them. He's defeated by the combined effort of the heroes and, in shame, takes his own life. His powers include aerokinesis, or the control of the air and wind currents, speed, and, because of his being a Hakeshu, slight control of Oroshi's power. Saiki. Number 4 on the list is another deity like Orochi, but not as powerful. Saiki is a deity like Orochi, but while Orochi had control over nature, Saiki has control over time, giving him the moniker of the one who rules time. Saiki is the leader of the cult that wreaked havoc on Earth centuries ago in ancient Europe, known as those from the distant land, whose aim is to awaken Orochi to transfer its power into Saiki to further his own nefarious schemes. While Orochi tolerated humans, Saiki wanted to exterminate the human race. After facing opposition from the Blank Torch family, Saiki and his cult suddenly vanished and reappeared thousands of years later. It turns out Saiki used his powers of time control to escape the ancient era and come to the modern era, where his followers teamed up with Ash Crimson to continue their goal to release the power of Orochi. Saiki bears a striking resemblance to Ash, and later in the final battle of King of Fighters 12, it's revealed that he is the ancestor of Ash. Ash defeats Saiki, but it has its own consequences, which we'll discuss later on. Saiki's powers include power absorption, time manipulation, possession, and dark energy manipulation. Kyo Kusanagi. Coming in at number 5 is the titular protagonist of the King of Fighters series. Kyo Kusanagi was introduced as the protagonist in the King of Fighters 94 game. Shown as a cocky high school student who loves getting into trouble, he is the heir of the Kusanagi clan, one of the 3 ancient clans that sealed the deity Orochi away. This clan had pyrokinetic powers, which Kyo has inherited. Kyo plays a pivotal role in defeating Orochi and has a complex relationship with Iori Yagami, with whom he frequently engages in feuds. Upon the defeat of Orochi, Kyo was kidnapped by a shadow organization called Nests. This cartel took Kyo to a secret facility for harvesting his blood and DNA to create a powerful army of Kyo clones for their world domination plans, a process known as the Kusanagi cloning program. Various characters like Kyo-1, Kyo-2, and K are characters that were cloned from Kyo. Kyo's strongest power is his pyrokinesis, by which he creates fire from thin air, creating fire projectiles and even pillars of fire. Igniz. At number 6, we have the primary antagonist of the King of Fighters 2001. Igniz is the leader of the Nests cartel after he slayed his own father, the former leader of Nests. He used a virtual image of Nests to trick the cartel into believing Nests was still alive. He hosts the 2001 tournament with the aim of becoming a new god, driven by megalomania and wanting to test his newfound power against the finalists. He brings the victors to the main Nests headquarters, which is orbiting Earth. He is the final boss of the game and faces off against K and his team. He reveals he was the one behind their creation and their memory manipulation. After a hard-fought battle, he is defeated by the protagonists. Defeated and humiliated, Igniz decides that failing to be a god, he will become a demon and plummets the space station out of orbit and onto Earth. Thankfully, the station crashes into the water and the heroes survive. Igniz's death marks the end of the Nests saga. As far as human bosses go, Igniz is an extremely difficult boss to defeat. His powers include telepathy, super speed, psychic abilities, and energy manipulation. Iori Yagami. If Kyo Kusanagi is the Goku of the King of Fighters series, then number 7 is his Vegeta. Iori Yagami was the initial enemy of Kyo and made his first appearance as Kyo's rival in King of Fighters 95. Iori is the last member of the Yagami, formerly known as the Yasakani clan, and is named after the original Iori, who was the patriarch of the clan 600 years ago. His clan was one of the 3 clans that defeated Orochi and locked it away. His clan had, however, signed a blood pact between Orochi due to a dispute with the Kusagami clan, which was orchestrated by the Hakeshu and Orochi itself. This causes their pyrokinesis powers to glow in a purplish hue, owing to their connection to Orochi. Due to this connection, Iori is prone to extreme bouts of unbridled rage and is vulnerable to Orochi overwhelming his body, making him a ruthless berserker. Iori despises Kyo for his heritage and vows to reclaim his clan's lost honor by besting Kyo. However, However, so far, neither Kyo nor Iori has managed to be crowned the superior fighter effectively. Despite his loathing for Kyo, both have put their rivalry aside when dealing with Orochi. His powers are similar to Kyo's in almost every way, except for his berserker rage.
Did they survive?
Ash Crimson with Saiki's power. At number 8, we have a protagonist who behaves like a villain. Ash Crimson is the anti-hero that became the primary protagonist of the King of Fighters series upon the conclusion of the Nests series. Ash debuted in King of Fighters 2003 and was a main character till King of Fighters 13. Ash is seemingly carefree, but is always carrying mysterious intentions. He is revealed to be the descendant of Saiki and the adoptive brother of Elizabeth Blanktorch. His powers include pyrokinesis, where he uses green flames, and power absorption. Ash uses the power absorption to steal the ancient artifacts of both Chizuru and Iori's clans. He first takes the Yada mirror from Chizuru and then the Yasakani jewel from Iori. Ash then seemingly teams up with Saiki and his cult to release Orochi. However, when Saiki is distracted, Ash betrays him and uses the powers of the Yada and Yagami artifacts with his power absorption to absorb Saiki. Saiki is too powerful and takes over Ash's body to create Evil Ash. This powerful being battles Elizabeth and her team while Ash fights to take back control of his body. Ash decides to destroy Saiki by holding him off just long enough for the time door to shut and Saiki to be trapped in the future. Unfortunately, this means that Ash becomes a paradox who never existed. As a result, Ash vanishes from reality, taking Saiki out with him. Chizuru Kagura. At number 9, we have the descendant of the third Japanese clan that fought to seal away Orochi. Chizuru Kagura's real name is Chizuru Yata, and she is the owner of Kagura Enterprises. She is the sponsor for the 96, 97, and 2003 King of Fighters tournaments. Introduced as a sub-boss in King of Fighters 96, she is the one who requests Kyo and Iori to set aside their differences and unite to face off the forces of Orochi. She is the calming glue that holds the fragile alliance of the three clans' descendants together. She had a twin sister, Maki, who was killed at the hands of Goenitz. Chizuru is also a priestess who protects the Orochi seal. Her powers include making mirror images of herself, energy manipulation, telepathy, and the ability to seal an enemy's power for a specific time. Krizalid. And finally, at number 10, we have Krizalid, who is a clone of Kei, who in turn is the clone of Kyo Kusanagi. Krizalid debuted in King of Fighters 99 as both the mid-boss and the final boss. He was created by Nests as the ultimate Kyo clone. However, instead of directly cloning him from Kyo's DNA, Nests cloned him from Kei, another Kyo clone. Nests created Krizalid to be the ultimate Kyo clone and altered his memories to make him think that Kei is actually his clone and not the other way around. He believes the character Whip to be his sister. He is extremely powerful but highly loyal to Nests, and he wears a battlesuit that constantly provides him with information about his opponents. Upon his defeat in the 99 tournament, he is killed by his superior, who crushes him under a boulder. Whip reveals to him that he is actually Kei's clone before he dies. He was resurrected in King of Fighters 2001, but was yet again killed, this time at the hands of Whip. His powers are energy projection and pyrokinesis, due to him being cloned by Kyo. Due to this, he can create fire and an explosion around him. Marvelous verdict. So that's our list of 10 of the most powerful characters in the King of Fighters franchise. Do you agree with our list? Do you think there are other characters we missed? Comment your thoughts down below. As always, please like, share, and comment on the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be the first to be notified of all things from Marvelous Videos. Goodbye, or of all things Marvelous Videos. Goodbye.